like it's the right height. Now I got to make sure I'm sitting in the right place and monitoring it, and make sure I've got sound. I know I've got sound and audio on Facebook, and I need to now monitor sound on YouTube. So bear with me while I check out the live on my YouTube channel. All right, again, let's. So all right, let's see. It says it's upcoming, but let's see. I got an ad. Turn this up, and we'll get that. Skip. Let's make sure. Okay, I'm right here. Let's pull this out. Can you hear me? Yes, people can hear me. Got an ad. Turn this up, and we'll get that. All right. So once I get that, let's make sure. Okay, I'm right here. Let's pull this out. Can you hear me? All right. Let's see if I can. I'm going towards there. So once I get that, away from there. I'm right here. Pull this out. And that's the Kentucky. All right, so let's see if I can. All right. Good. I'm good on. There's people watching tonight. Welcome to Facebook Live of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys podcast, and we're covering Old Charter. Old Charter Oak with French Oak. So now I'll get off that. We're on that, but I'm going to be monitoring. There we go. Turn that down. Yeah. Hey, Leland. Good to see you. Thanks for watching tonight. We're going to be talking about Old Charter. We'll be talking about a lot of things, but we're live Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We should get this party started. Everybody knows that there's going to be a 30. Once I get this ready to start going on the recording, I'm going to get all the stuff out of the way that needs to be off camera. This should be good. I'm just trying to make it look the best it possibly can. I'll put that there so that, okay, we got options. And I'm surprised. I got a towel on top of the keyboard. Like, that's the thing to do. Yeah, we're getting Facebook. Okay. So I'm in Southern Bourbon Hunt. Okay. Here we go. So the 30-second ad will play for Alan Bishop's. If you have ghosts, you have everything. Check that podcast out on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, anywhere that you can get good podcasts. But that is a spirits podcast. It deals with distilling, the distilling industry, the spirits industry, and also spirits and ghosts and conspiracies. It's a cool podcast. Check that out. But that's what's going to play. And then I will read, Rosewood Bourbon is our new sponsor. I should have the voiceovers and everything up so I don't have to do it automatic. It'll be done automatically coming up. The sponsorship is going to start, even though we kind of have been giving him the uploading sponsorship and really promoting that his great Jason Giles great bourbon and rise. But it starts officially as far as, I feel that I've sponsored him, or not sponsored him, but promoted him properly. That will start on June 1st. So here we go, everybody. The 30-second spot's going to go, and then you will hear our theme song. Hey, Bryce. Hey, Terry.
sipping butter, sipping on some scotch. We did it a while, it's sure fun to watch. Love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, it's all songs, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we're here to have fun, and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun, yeah.
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here tonight. I just saw that Ross Cornelison is watching and in the house. Welcome, Ross. Also, Terry Dant was here. I see Bryce Rowan. Thanks for watching. I got to give a shout out to Bryce because he has been a part of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys almost from the beginning as far as watching. He's gone through some health issues over the past couple of years, and it was good to see him back on Facebook fighting the good fight. We appreciate everything you do with us, Bryce. So keep watching, and thank you for watching. And same thing, Ross, thank you for watching. I'm going to be down in Bardstown on Sunday. So I think I'm going to be hanging out with Sandy and Fred Noe, hopefully having some lunch with them. But afterwards, in the evening, on Sunday evening, I think I'm going to see Stacy, but we might be around that area. So if you're in town, maybe stop by, say hi. That would be great to see you. That's for sure. We're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We've got Glencairn's, the t-shirt that I'm wearing tonight. We've also got Scotchy Bourbon Balls. Me and my wife have been trying to get the newest batch out. They're going to be delicious because they've been soaking in pecans for about they started in November. So what's that? December, January, February, March, April, May. We're almost to June. That's 6 months. That's the longest we've soaked them yet. I'm excited for this next batch. All right. And then also remember, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. Wherever you want to follow us. And then also we're on all the major podcast formats, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, all great places to listen, plus a bunch of other ones. But remember, like, listen, subscribe, and leave good feedback. And if you can go to Apple and leave a good review, I would greatly appreciate that. But, all right, so there we go. Now, our newest sponsor, who it's going to be official, I'll have it recorded for June 1st. So I got to work on that Friday and Saturday so that the next podcast on Tuesday, I got it. But it is Rosewood Bourbon. And it's like, here's my this is good. This is what I wrote myself to promote it, and I'm going to put it on tape. But let me know what you think. Hey, Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Tiny here to tell you all about Rosewood Bourbon and Rye. The bourbon that implicated Andy Dufresne in a double homicide he did not commit in the classic movie Shawshank Redemption. Initially produced in California by General Distillers in the 1930s and originally called Lewis Hunter's Rosewood Bourbon, master blender Jason Giles has brought back Rosewood to you by purchasing plus contract distilling barrels of bourbon in Kentucky and Indiana. Once they mature, he ships them to Texas, where he ages them for at least another summer in the Longhorn heat. The Rosewood Kentuckian blend and the Rosewood single barrels offer a unique bourbon and rye experience. Please drink responsibly and never drink and drive. So, Jason Giles, I hope you like that one. I wrote that with he's got go to rosewoodbourbon.com. Check that out. And then if you're interested, go to the Bourbon Outfitter, where all his bourbons are for sale. Fantastic single barrels, and his Kentuckian is fantastic. Folks, if you can get that blend, I strongly suggest it. This is one of the reasons why I took Jason on as a sponsor, because I loved what he was doing with the bourbon. I like the taste of it. So go check it out. All right. So it's like also just know that we are coming up on our next barrel pick. It is a Lillian Sinclair and William Dalton out of the Spirit of French Lick. Going to be going down there for that pickup. So it will be available if anybody is interested in either one. The Lillian Sinclair was one of Alan Bishop's passion projects. Plus, we dropped a French oak stave in it. It's going to be fantastic, folks. We got a chance to taste that barrel. I wanted that barrel, and then also the William Dalton is a little bit more on steroids than the last pick we did, and y'all love that. So the Elijah Craig barrel pick, which sold out very quick. Just know everybody that one is almost all delivered. I only think we've got like 2 more bottles. Barry Briniger, who was able to pick up a bottle, we still got to get it to him. So if you ever are listening, I know CT has it, and we're going to be down there on Sunday and Monday running around. So maybe we can get it to you, Barry. That would be awesome. Look forward to our podcast and our lives this coming up Monday, because we are going down to Bardstown for a chicken cock barrel pick. Greg Schneider is going to be on it with us with the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and we are going to pick a fantastic barrel of chicken cock. Plus, afterwards, we're going to head back up to J Mattingly and find out what's happening at their new place, and hopefully be doing a live Facebook podcast right from the new distillery. So that's exciting. We are excited about that. So that's what's going to happen on Monday. Tuesday night, I'm thinking that if I can get enough of us, we all now have the old stubborn. The old stubborn is Ed Bley's or Ed Bley's. His I just don't. He even tells me right on the podcast it's Ed Bley. He basically came out with his second batch, which is a high rye bourbon. The first one was a wheated, but it's spectacular. All the Scotchy Bourbon Boys have it, and we'll give it a review coming up. Tonight, we're going to review this special bottle. It's hard for me, honestly, folks. It really is hard for me to have to, what would you say? It's going to be hard for me to actually open this bottle, because this bottle is one of Buffalo Trace's special. Now, I'm going to give you a little quick, since we're doing this, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. I got Michael Jackson's whiskey, the Definitive World Guide Scotch Bourbon Whiskey. This is a new edition that they put out, but this actual edition is a little bit out of date. So it was from 2018, but the history's still, what there, but they've really come up, but also the experimental collection. So I've got a little bit here. Stony Point, an elegant limestone mansion, overlooks the whiskey landscape of Buffalo Trace Distillery, formerly known as Ancient Age. The distillery site is located at an ancient buffalo crossing where the animals ford the Kentucky River. It was part of the Great Buffalo Trace, a pathway or trail carved out by the buffalo as they thundered from Salt Lick to Salt Lick. The present distillery site became a settlement in 1775 when Hancock and Willis Lee set up camp here. The Lee Town settlement eventually became an established stopping place for travelers, and by 1790 was home for a thriving population. The first modern distillery was built on the Buffalo Trace site in 1857 and was the earliest to incorporate steam power into the production of bourbon whiskey. Colonel E.H. Taylor, Jr., one of Kentucky's original bourbon aristocrats, bought the distillery in 1886 and introduced a number of innovations, including the first use of steam pipes to heat a warehouse in the winter. The Buffalo Trace site encompasses 110 acres, 270 hectares, and 110 buildings representing 3 centuries of American history and 200 years of productions. So we'll go through the experimental collection. That gives you a nice history. I mean, then there was, if you really want to you get down to it. George T. Stagg worked with E.H. Taylor, but then bought him. There was a fire, and then Taylor rebuilt, bought him out, and then Stagg bought him out, and then he was the master distiller there, and then he was the master distiller till Colonel Blanton was there, and then Elmer T. Lee took over, and now Harlan Wheatley is the master distiller right now for Buffalo Trace. But the experimental collection, Buffalo Trace has a small still where it has, for some years now, experimented with different mash bills and has dedicated a special warehouse for experiments with charring and toasting oaks and different types of wood. There are more than 5,000 experimental barrels currently on site. In the recent years, a select few of them have been bottled under the experimental collection moniker. Many of them are of great age and offer a fascinating insight into the bourbon making process. So, what's really cool is that Old Charter, which is distilled, aged, and bottled on the Buffalo Trace Sazerac, distillery, is one of those. And this bottle is freaking awesome. So I don't know how this gets out. It's something that I wasn't, what would you say? I wasn't expecting. It's kind of like when you go, I'm kind of watching this, not a lot of people. So I'm going to flip over to this live chat. Okay. I would love to watch this stream, but I am 14 months sober. That is what, and hey, yeah. So I'm going to flip over to and watch let's see, I'm gonna turn it still down. I'll watch the YouTube for a little bit. Right. So this is an awesome bottle. I wasn't expecting it. I go in, and this is not something that a lot of people expected or know about, because this is when it comes to what this brand is, they just don't realize it's Buffalo Trace. It is released not a lot. There's been, I've got this, I'll read this on the back. In 1874, Adam and Ben Chapeze created the now famous Old Charter whiskey brand, named in honor of arguably the most well-known white oak tree in America. Old Charter oak symbolizes the pivotal role that oak barrels play in making of a great whiskey. Old Charter oak reveals the hidden flavors in a wide array of oaks as they influence this diverse collection of bourbon whiskeys. Aged at Buffalo Trace Distillery, this bourbon whiskey is rich and sweet, drawing its character from barrels made of French oak, an oak that has long been used for aging the world's finest wine. The lighter grain of French oak impacts more subtle flavors and a silkier texture than its American counterpart. Harvested from the forests of France, this oak was seasoned outdoors before the wood was made into barrels that aged this unique whiskey that honors its French origins. Enjoy this tribute to French oak and raise a glass to its storied journey from forest to barrel to bourbon. This is a very, and so the bottle is, the 705, it says Charter Oak, but it's got this wood medallion of an oak tree on the front of it. And then this is the French oak version. Now, I'm going to share screen. A lot of you that are listening to the audio, that's not something that I can do. You won't see this, but I will do some reading based off the share screen. But we'll hit this up, share. It's right there, right off the Buffalo Trace. There it is, right off their website. It should be, I'm looking, I got to see that share screen. Everybody on YouTube, you cannot see that, but I'm going to flip back over and go to Facebook. And so this should be able to be seen on Facebook. Jamie's watching. Hey, Jamie, good to see you. Let's see if it actually, there it is. You guys can see it. It's up there. Let me see. Do I gotta actually, no, that has nothing to do with it. All right, here we go. So, there are other versions of this. There's a Chinkapin oak a Mongolian oak, a Canadian oak, and then just regular old charter, which it has nothing to do with this because the bottle's completely different. But then I also did, I believe I also saw a Canadian, and then this is the French oak that I got when I was able to get. So it's really kind of cool because it's aged. It says on the bottle, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. No age statement on the bottle, but it's aged 12 years at Buffalo Trace Distillery. This bourbon is rich and sweet, drawing its character from barrels made of French oak, an oak that has long been used for aging the world's finest wine. The tighter grain of French oak impacts more subtle flavors and a silkier texture than its American counterpart, harvested from the forests of French. Okay, so it looks like the story journey of from the forest. Yeah, that's what was on the back of the bottle. But the tasting notes for the French oak describe it as having a nose of vanilla with hints of apricot, cherry, and rose petal. The palate is thick and creamy, maple syrup, and the oak flavor comes through. A long finish of chocolate and toasted oak rounded out. I mean, it's like when you go online, the secondary is anywhere. I mean, it's like you look and it's between $900 and $200 a bottle. I was able to pick this up in the state of Ohio on this release for $69.99, so $74 with tax. Not a bad bottle, that's for sure. Very cool. I'm excited. Was not expecting this because this isn't something that gets released, but the state of Ohio has been on fire. They have been. We have been able to get some bourbons that have not been able to be gotten, and this one is an LTO and wasn't allocated. So it's even crazier. I mean, there was a select few stores that got cases around the state, and my store was just happened to be one. But I got it. It was out, and when I got in, there was still 4 bottles left. And honestly, folks, people didn't know what this was. They didn't realize it was a Buffalo Trace product. It's not something that that is advertised or you see a lot. And a lot of times, this kind of stuff gets released just at the distillery. I mean, you see these bottles in people who have huge bourbon collections that were able to pick it up whatever way they were able to pick it up, not just walk into the liquor store, pay MSRP. So that was a really good Wednesday for me, I would have to say. Really kind of cool. I'll go back to stop sharing. Let's go. Yep, there we are. We'll go back to share view. Let me get this up. Full screen. There we go. So let's open this baby. That's what bourbon's for. Honestly, with all my being, this one, if I put up bottles, I would put this up. But I gotta taste it. I've never had it. I've never had it at a bar. I mean, when it comes to the other stuff I've had Buffalo Trace products like Pappy, 24, 20. I mean, I've had them all and tasted them all one way or another, but I never tasted this. So I think Rock Hill Farms, when I was with Walker a while ago, in I think it was in beginning of March, I was with Walker, and when we did the barrel pick, came down and we no, actually it's the first time I was with Walker. That must have sounded horrible on YouTube, but I picked it up and it's going back up there. I didn't even do anything, and so here we go again. Am I gonna? I gotta figure out if I should have a screwdriver or something, because this seal, this plastic seal, is a good one. Let's see here. See, there we go. The teeth worked, folks. I was able to get that baby started. It's got like a Taylor. Oh, that's weird. The whole thing didn't come off, and I really want it to. Let's see. There it is. Let's see if I can get it off that way. I'm sure there was an opening that I just don't see. Hey, Hello, Walter. Good to see you. Haven't gotten down there in a while, but I definitely want to get down there and see you soon. I have this plastic off. This one is watching. You know, it's so funny because the plastic is like not cooperating. Yep, there we go. Got that off. And then you got this tax seal, so I'll hit that. This is it. Gonna open it. Ooh, that tax seal broke. This. Let's see what kind of cork it has. Oh, good one. That is a real cork. So, real cork for this. This is charter. This is old charter oak, French oak. So I popped it. I'm telling you, what I smelled right off the bat is crazy good. Right off the bat. Yeah, I gotta come visit soon, for sure. I miss you guys, Hannah and Kelly. Definitely got to get down there. See you. I haven't seen you in a while either. I've seen your brother a couple times, but then I'm going. I did the. That wasn't even a shake up. Let's shake it up because I let the. All right, there we go. Get rid of that barrel pick, or the neck thing. So I've got a Buffalo Trace Distillery E.H. Taylor glass. I'm going to put that in respect. All right. All right. So I got a decent pour out of this. I mean, when I saw this, I didn't know what to do with it. I knew I had to buy it. Lately I've been on a restriction. Restriction is the least amount of the way to put it, of buying bourbon, because I have enough. I could do another 20 podcasts, 30 podcasts, and still not run out of bottles to podcast about, plus what people send me. So based off that, but then so I haven't been buying a lot this year. But when we go to Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I plan to, or I'm going to plan to go when we go down on Sunday. CT and I, and then Monday, maybe Monday on my way home, we'll hit Whiskey Thief and see you, Walter. But the nose on this, it's got a nice floral. I actually can say I do. It smell. There's apricot, and I do smell the rose petal. Honestly, that is actually there. That's like a floral, and it does have a rosish. It's not completely rose. The bitterness of it. It's just like a sweet, but it still has that essence of the rose. So let's give it a taste. I'm gonna barrel bash it. So I have to. That's a shock. I believe it's 94 proof. Not as far as what it is. I'm gonna barrel bash it. I taste the French oak. It's not toasted. If I could get that. So I've been to Buffalo Trace many times. Usually afterwards, I go visit Walter. Oh, right. You're going to be at the festival. Are you going to be thieving a barrel at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival? Because that would be fantastic. I know you guys were able to do that at Bourbon on the Banks, but just one of my favorite things to do is be a whiskey thief. And you guys, that's your favorite thing, obviously. That's the whole marketplace. So that's interesting. We will definitely be at the festival also, but if you guys are there, they have that cigar lounge, and I'm looking forward to that immensely. Hey, Justin, good to see you. So we've had Ross, Master Distiller. We've had Walter Zausch, owner of Whiskey Thief. Ross Cornelison's been here, Master Distiller of Barton, 1792. And we got Justin Whaley, head distiller at the Spirit of French Lick, one of our sponsors. So, I mean, tonight's, and we had Greg Schneider, also master distiller of Chicken Cock Whiskey. So tonight's been a who's who in the distilling industry. So, but we'll get back to this old charter French oak now. Now that I've had it, now I have to say, it's called Old Charter Oak. There's a ton of vanilla, and I do also get cherry, a little peppery. Um, it's drinking a little hotter than the 94 proof. Maybe I want to say a cross between black pepper and a little bit of cinnamon, but the pepper's like on the front part or the mid palate, and it is. I mean, I have my readers. Why am I doing this? I will make sure. 46, 92 proof. It drinks hotter than 92 proof. But when I go to Buffalo Trace and I'm in that area where they talk about all the experimental wood projects that they're doing, I've always imagined of how could I get one. I see those bottles out there of some of them where they're typed out. It's like, this is experimental, and I know people that have gotten samples of that. We're not big enough to do that yet, but I'm hoping to be. Yes, dare to dream. This should be. I'm excited about this year's Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Let's just break here before I barrel bash this and talk about the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Randy Prass is going to be on coming up sometime. I want to say he usually late July, early August to talk about the festival. It usually sells out about that time. You need to go to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival website and buy your tickets. It's a 3-day pass or a single day pass on Sunday. But for the price of what you pay, you get 62 distilleries, including Whiskey Thief. I did not know that. I'm very excited with that announcement that Walter said that they're going to be there, because that's one of my favorite places to go when I go down to Kentucky. Walter and Kelly, their distiller, and Hannah make us feel like we're amongst family. So we love that. But make sure that those 3-day passes are, it's like you get to taste from 62 different distilleries, plus shop at all the bourbon booths where people have bourbon merchandise. It is an amazing event. The VIP is cool, but you don't need VIP to feel like a VIP. There is so much to do. There's going to be the cigar. They've got an upstairs cigar lounge this year. Their store is being expanded. They've got the area where they have all the crafts and all the people selling their wares. They've got the craft distillery area, and then they've got the major distillery area, and all of them are releasing all along. Plus, they've got a food court with food trucks that are going to be off, off. That just keeps getting bigger and better. It's not the space is being utilized unbelievably compared to what I saw in 2019 and went down to, which I had a blast and loved. But what Randy has done to evolve this festival into, in my opinion, the premier whiskey festival in the world, you can't get it. But when you go to Bardstown and you get this festival, you get bourbon in the air the night when all the master distillers are there pouring, and then you get all the craft distillers, the owners of the craft distilleries. You get everything. So go to www. I believe it's kybourbonfestival.com and get your tickets, because we're going to be there. 62 distilleries are going to be there. Other podcasts are going to be there. It's going to be a party, and I'm 1 week away that weekend. Normally it's on the third week, but it's on the second weekend, so it is, I believe, 13th, 14th, and 15th. It kicks off on the Thursday, September 12th, with Bourbon in the Air, and then goes 13th, 14th, and 15th. 3 days of spectacular. What you get enough. They've got talks by distillers, they've got stages, they've got music, they pretty much have it all. And when you leave, plus they have everybody. I mean, people that come down there, and the people, all the groups come down. It is just a great party. It lasts from noon to 6, and then you go out into the town of Bardstown. There's so much to do. So there we go. I gave Kentucky Bourbon Festival a plug. And then let's get back, and we'll barrel bash this. I'm not even paying attention to that part. Okay, we're doing good. We'll barrel bash this old charter oak French oak expression from Buffalo Trace. All right. At 92 proof. I mean, who doesn't like smelling? I would say there's an apricot or almost a melon kind of nose, but I do smell the florals of rose. A lot of times I'm not happy with a rose nose, but I am here because it's like if you smell a bouquet of roses, great bourbon for giving your wife to start off. I mean, I think they would love it. It's 92 proof. Women a lot of times like higher proofs. That's what I find in my tastings. So, Sandy and Chris. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm going to give you the barrel bashing our rating system. It's evolved, but here we go. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys barrel bashing rating system is we rate the nose, we rate the body, we rate the taste, and we rate the finish. The nose and the body, you can give up to 4 points. The taste and the finish, you can give a total of 5 points each. And if you like something and make it and think it's exceptional in the whiskey drinking area, you can give it a butt up. That is something that we came. So you can get a total of, if I'm not mistaken, 19 of 18 on a perfect bourbon, because they all get the top scores plus a butt up. All right. So this charter oak, French oak, if you like an oaky flavored, not too much wood, but to have the flavor of the wood be prevalent and the flavor, you're gonna like this. So the nose with the rose, out of 4, I'm gonna give the rose a 3. Then it's like I've been watching Alan do some and been at some craft distilleries where there's been barrel hoop and barrel making demonstrations. So my French oak barrel here needs to have the hoops tightened on them. So that's coming up. That was a 3. And then we'll go to the body. Roof of your mouth, under your tongue, and it goes out. So on the body, you can give it a 4. I'm also going to give this body a 3. Now, today at 8:30. What? That is just weird. It is 9:09, so I don't know what that's about. Now, as far as taste, I could give this up to 5. I do like the taste of this. This is a really, really good complex whiskey. No overpowering, not too sweet. Um, Experimental wood. Let's see. It's funny because Old Tub has very similar taste to this. This just has a little bit more, what would you say, body or a little bit more complexity. Now, when I'm looking, this is what I would expect. I've never tasted a bourbon quite like this. It's got the oaky flavor. It's 12 years old. It drinks like a 12-year-old, like I said. And with a subscriber for a year for Old Charter Canadian oak. I've not had the Canadian. I've just had the French. I just got this yesterday. That's Sandy and Chris. And honestly, this is when it comes to wood, it's an experimental series, and they experiment with wood. So it is exactly what I would think it should be. They're experimenting with different wood as the dominant flavors. The caramel's not dominant. There's a little bit of vanilla. I taste a little bit of cherry, but then it goes to that French oak, which I do like. Definitely, when you drop a French oak stave in it, what it adds, I can taste that, but that's prevalent. So if you really like an oak forward, those mature wood sugars, I think you would like this. The char is a good char. There's no doubt about it. There's some char to it. On the flavor, I'm going to give it a 4. On the barrel bash. So right now we're at 10 out of 13. The finish is long for a 92 proof, but the 12-year really comes through on the finish. It's a sipping whiskey, there's no doubt. Share with friends. I will not say it's over oaked. It's perfectly oaked, is my opinion. And where that comes through is on the finish. This doesn't stop. I honestly think I will have this tonight, and when I go upstairs, I will still have the finish. It has a nice hug. It's everything that bourbon, should be. So on the finish, I give it a 5. Which then takes us to 15 of 18 is what I give Old Charter Oak French oak, a 15 out of 18, which is decent. I mean, honestly, this bottle is pretty cool. I mean, I love it. There it is right there for everybody to see. If you get a chance, I would definitely say, and you buy it, it's well worth a $70 bottle. I mean, it's not something you pass up for 70. I don't know if I pay secondary 400, 300. I knowing what I just had and what I got, that was pretty good. That's what I'm sipping tonight. I thought it was very smooth, good sweetness in the front. It reminds me a little bit of Elmer T. Lee, but with a way more body. That 92 from, I believe Elmer T. Lee is 84. It's either 84 or 86 proof. That extra proof is right there. The hug on this is fantastic. It would be. I do get a little bit of spice and pepper that then turns more into like a cinnamon, but I'm still getting it's a finish of, the finish is the strong point of this bourbon. And what else would you think when it comes to a special wood finishing series that they're doing, these experimental barrels, 5,000 back in 2018. I think there's a lot more there. So hats off to Buffalo Trace on this one. Hats off to the state of Ohio getting this to the people on the shelf. That was a really cool week. So that brings us to the other part that we're going to cover. Is bourbon still hot right now? Is it the hot commodity? I know that everybody knows all along tequila held not tequila, but vodka always holds its own. I mean, vodka is vodka. I mean, it's just for people who want to drink something that doesn't taste like it. Now, yeah, great. Oh, what did you send me? I just got an email saying, I do not. That is just the weirdest thing. Anyways, so um, it's we were getting what's has bourbon cooled down or is it hot right now? That is the question. And it's so funny. I wish I could go back and start talking about before just 2 seconds ago. I had a train of thought. I would say that what is on the shelf, some of the things I think bourbon is still hot. There's no doubt that it's hot, especially here in the state of Ohio. Oh, we were talking about vodka just holding its own the whole time. And then what's been coming on is tequila, uh, barrel aged tequila. They're aged in bourbon barrels, tequila aged in Four Roses barrels, tequila aged, mezcal and anejo. Those things are coming on. There's no doubt about it. And trading, unfortunately, it's up and down, but trading, unfortunately, it is. I think what's happened to the market is that no, it's still hot, but meeting the demand is happening. That is one thing that's cool. But if you are a very sought after brand, let's just take Buffalo Trace. I think it's hotter than ever. I think that's not a problem when it comes to Jim Beam. It's still hotter than ever. People are buying their main, uh, their main bourbon. And it's funny because Jim Beam always produces they produce a massive amount of just Jim Beam. That is something that is fantastic. But their small batches, the Bookers, the Bakers, the Knob Creeks, the Basil Haydens, and some of the other stuff, the Jim Beam Black, the double oak, all great, Devil's Cut, those all are moving, and they're small batches and are just what they've done with Baker's 13 and Baker's, and what they've done with Booker's with the different batches. That's all on fire. I used to, even during probably about a year ago, I could walk into the store on a Booker's release and still at the end of the day or the next day pick it up. That's not the case no more. I got to get it. You got to be in line on a Saturday and you got to pick it up. Otherwise, it will be gone. Now, there's a couple batches that it seemed like we got a little bit more. Now, the higher prices, but some of the bourbons, for instance, Booker's, it's not a higher price. Well, I guess it is. When picking it up, it used to be $100 and stuff. Yes, some of the stuff is higher, but overall, in my opinion, now I myself seem to be mirroring this, but uh, I'm saving for specific. I like this weekend. I'm going to be going down to Bardstown. I'm going to be looking for the Little Book Chapter 8, which just got released. I'm going to be going over to the Jim Beam Distillery. I should be able to hopefully pick that up. And then I'm also going to be looking for, I believe, Blood Oath. I'll stop off at Lux Row to pick up the Blood Oath, the newest pack. They let that out of there. If I don't get it now, I'm sure I'll be able to, like usual, pick it up at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. But I think all the small batches and the limited releases are hotter than ever. Like, for instance, the Buffalo Trace, all the Buffalo Trace stuff that's been hitting in the state of Ohio throughout the last year has just been spectacular. People are getting it. And so what they're doing is to meet this massive demand that was there that wasn't being met. The main distillers are now able to produce more of what's out there, but they're getting it to more people that couldn't get it before. like all the flippers were getting it or whatever, but now everybody's getting it, which is causing the industry to actually, if let's just say you couldn't get uh Weller foolproof, but Penelope was on the. So I think some of the craft distilleries or the blenders, if they're not doing the proper amount of marketing, they are feeling this crunch. People are not how much they can buy, but with their money that they still can spend, the main distillers are meeting the demand now so that they can spend their money on that. And so when it comes to the market, especially here in Ohio, because we're getting so much more product and more people are getting it, which means that the market gets bigger because they're starting to get it what they couldn't get before. Now it's not like they can get 10 bottles of it, they're getting 1 or 2 bottles of it. But one thing that I've seen is the Weller Special Reserve, their regular brand of Weller, which people refer to as the green Weller Green. I've noticed that it sells. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't sell out right away. It moves. It's good, but it's not like Antique 107 or Foolproof or 12 year. Those all you don't see them except for their release day. So first time I had Booker's was March 2005. It was $60 MSRP. Meyer had an abundance of Rock Hill Farm at $55. Okay. Times have really changed due to the tight. Yeah. There's two things with the times. Yes, the massive demand and the costs of doing business have gone up completely in this country. But at the same time, how you spend your dollar, you might be a little bit more. So what you've wanted for a while and haven't been able to get, and you've been spending your dollar on other stuff, all of a sudden you're able to get it. So you're spending your dollar on the stuff you couldn't get, which is fantastic because it's not like you could get a lot of it, but you can get it. And that is just really good marketing. So my opinion, any distillery that is marketing properly, working like just let's here in Ohio, you work with the state of Ohio to come in, you're going to sell your stuff. People want it's like when you walk into a liquor store, there's so much to choose from when it comes to bourbon and whiskey, Irish whiskeys, scotches. You're going to buy if you met the master distiller, like let's just say Greg Schneider comes up and he's selling chicken cock, and you met him, and then you're trying to figure out what to buy, and there's another let's say another brand right next to it that you've never met the person doing the marketing or the master distiller, and you've only been you just kind of had, you're going to buy the bottle where you met the master distiller, and that is the marketing, the boots on the ground that is working right now for the industry. It's not that the industry's cooling off, it's people are watching where they spend their dollar. They're still buying, but they're spending their dollar diff- different way, more responsibly. So I see how hot this market is when it comes to stuff that you can't get that you can start to get now. So I don't believe it's cooling off. The overall market might be plateauing. It's not going backwards, but when it comes to the stuff that you weren't able to get, that they're starting to meet the supply and demand, it's hurting the craft distillers that aren't doing all the stuff they need to do. And that's what I'm seeing. So how I spend my money, that's also another way. It's just kind of like, how it goes. So my consensus is there before you could open up, you could be a blender and you just could open it up and no problem. But if you're a place that isn't distilling and you're blending or you're contract distilling and you're trying to maybe sell your brand, that is not the same as it was even 6, 8 months ago. People aren't looking. They're going to see what happens with this market. The amount of people that have uh, built new distilleries in the state of Kentucky alone. Here in Ohio, you've got Middle West. Ryan is a great owner, has built this massive distillery. He's contract distilling, plus he's also making his own stuff. And it has come online. You've got Denny and Jane down in Kentucky doing their thing. You've got uh, what is it? The Kentucky Whiskey House, which is just going to be opening real soon. Contract distilling, and then you've got Bardstown came on. They went to Green. They bought the Green River. It's just amazing. You've also got the people who used to own Green River opening up a distillery. You've got a distillery a little bit south of Bardstown opening up. You've got the Bluegrass Distillery. They're getting close to opening up. I mean, the amount of distilleries going up, and they don't just put in a pot still. Like it's not like where Limestone Branch was, make a barrel a day. They're putting the ability to make between 250 to 1,500 barrels a day. They're building rick houses at, there's going to be a point where we have a lot and lot of, you know, whiskey, but we're not to that point. So I just want to throw that out there. I think it's still a hot commodity if you do it right. You got to be doing it right. It's not like you just can start it up and just do it. You have to get to the liquor stores, sell your brand, have the people who make it believe in your brand, and it has to taste good. But I have not tasted a lot of bad bourbon lately. Compared to when I first started, there was some stuff out there that just wasn't as good. But what's happening now? And then even in Indiana, I mean, you just put in Old Homestead just went on has come up online with Alan Bishop. The amount of good spirits going out there is still there, and it's a wonderful time to be involved in bourbon, because I think especially if you're a newbie getting in, you're going to be able to get some stuff that you weren't able to get before. And they're starting, they've always been upping the production. We're just starting to see that, but then all the new things, Buffalo Trace put in a double still. They've got so many stills running there. I don't even know what's going on. Right. Yeah, Walter, I agree. The people who are out there, you have to have a marketing plan. You have to have the right people. You have to have distribution, and you got to be to survive in this market. And if you don't have that, like I said, 6, 8 months ago, you could start, and it was selling. It's a lot of stuff sold itself. But what I saw is that not only are the liquor stores are taxed, is there's so many different brands, they can't carry them all. So to get on the shelf is starting to be competition. But also, once you're on the shelf, if nobody knows and you haven't done anything like just the state of Ohio, you haven't come here and you haven't, put yourself out there so people can meet you. When they're trying to make a decision, it's a really easy decision because the people who came up here, Michael and Danny came up here from Penelope. It's an easy buy. When it comes to Greg Schneider, he's been here, easy buy. So those are easy shelf buys because I know the people, and I've been around them and traveled with them. I mean, it's the same thing, what Jim Beam does and what Fred and Freddie Noe do. I mean, Freddie Noe's been up here. Bruce from Wild Turkey, Bruce Russell, he's been up here. That's the grandson of Jimmy. So they're doing the legwork to keep their stuff on the shelf, but also for you to know. And locally, a lot of people have been doing a lot of stuff too. So I guess that's what that's what we got. But like Walter says, it's not easy. I think Whiskey Thief's marketing plan is spectacular. As they go out and they start to put some stuff on the shelf, that's really good, especially since they're going to be they've been at the festivals, and being at the festivals and knowing to get people to see what they're doing, you got to get there. I mean, it's like every day, no matter what, you go there, and I believe it's $25 for the tour and barrel pick. That's insane. That's an insane thing. I mean, there's five up to 10 barrels that you can choose from. You can bottle your own if you want to buy it, but that tour gets you to taste those barrels. It's in a barrel picking experience, which is a special thing. And calling themselves Whiskey Thief was genius. Great marketing, and not only do they just call themselves, they are. They are it. So it's at Three Boy Farms, right 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes from Buffalo Trace. So if you're in the Buffalo Trace area, you got to stop off at Whiskey Thief. Walter and the team he's assembled there, they are phenomenal. When you go there, you feel like you're just like everything in Kentucky, that it's like you're home. So, all right, there we go. The last thing I want to do is talk about uh, the open dash. So it's open-bees.com. It's a raffle. The raffle is going on. It's a bourbon raffle. 75 different bourbons. We are talking top of the line bourbons, stuff that I got to see the collection. You're talking Pappy's, the full collection there, and then you're talking about a couple, duplicates of the collection, and you're talking about the full antique collection for Buffalo Trace, and then you're also talking about that with the George T. Stagg, the Sazerac, the I believe Eagle Rare 17. I mean that is there, but then you've got Stag, really bunch of, I mean, what's available and what Christy has amassed for this raffle is amazing. And you got to go to open-bees.com. Go there. You'll see the second bourbon raffle for charity, and what she's done for kids with learning disabilities that can't get the help they need. She basically uses this bourbon raffle to raise the money so that she can help those kids and those families that are struggling. Sometimes the kids are on the border of genius. So this one specifically, this go to this. This is legitimate. She did it last year. All the bottles got delivered. If somebody was dissatisfied, she made sure that they were happy. But I don't see how you're dissatisfied. You're helping kids. Just the cause alone is worth the donation. But then you have a chance at a phenomenal bottle that you might never get in this bourbon raffle. So she wants to be finished up by Father's Day. She needs to sell a certain amount of tickets. She's getting close. So go to open-bees, BEES.com, and sign up and buy your raffle tickets for this great cause. All right, so there we go. What was the last thing? How supporting Charleston? I'm in. Now supporting charities. Yes, go check it out. Check that out. Christy McGinnis, Maddie, she is a fantastic person. I got a chance to meet her last year. We become friends, and I can not say enough. There is, when you go there, or if you go to our Scotchy Bourbon Boys YouTube, you can watch the video on all the good that they've done. But overall, check that out. Get your raffle tickets, and we'll go from there. All right. Tiny here, finishing up. Great podcast tonight. Really enjoyed it. Had a lot of people on supporting us, and like always, appreciate doing this. Remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and then also Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. and YouTube. Follow us there. Our Facebook group is about 1,400. Ask to join. That's the best link into us. Everybody there is always talking bourbon, talking about our events, talking about our barrel picks, talking about everything. So join that Facebook group, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Check us out on YouTube. That is all. We're all over that. We're live there tonight, along with the Facebook. And then also remember to listen to us on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, all those major podcast formats. And no matter what, like, listen, subscribe, leave good feedback, and comment. And then also make sure that you give us a review on the Apple. If you listen on Apple, please give us a good review. That's how we get more viewers. And then remember, good bourbon equals good friends and good times. Drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and make sure that you live your life dangerously. Little Steve-O's going to take us out.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right, I'm off the audio. I'm going to quick do the save like I always do. Publish for uploading. All right, I'm going to call this. Yeah, I'll get that loaded onto Apple and everything tonight. I'm building that episode. We're still live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to quick check out YouTube real quick. There was some people. Oh, I'm being told as recent as 21 years and selling can hear you say MSRP on liquor is wild. I'm wrong. This is misinformation. Yeah, what's misinformation? All right, so I like that. Always when there's controversy of what I'm saying, it's my favorite thing when it's controversial. It's kind of like, let's go over here. It's like, I'll just remove. That's not even worth it. All right, so really, you guys on YouTube. We're building that episode. Anybody have any final thoughts on Facebook? Thank you all for watching tonight. It looked like there was some. I will for sure, Walter. I will definitely let you know when we plan on coming down so that you can meet us. We're definitely we enjoy coming to Whiskey Thief. I still post and get thousands of views promoting it off the shorts. I have no problem promoting what you're doing there. It's spectacular. There's no doubt. There's no experience. There's some experiences trying to be like you guys, but your team makes it just a fantastic fan. The whole thing you guys got down to make you feel right at home, and I'm just looking forward to getting there this summer because there's nothing better than spending an afternoon with you guys at Whiskey Thief out on the patio smoking cigars and having some pours. And then picking up a bottle, I think that having the 375s plus the 750 milliliters, the way to go. And you guys just do everything great. Plus, the people that you hire are always quality people. Shout out to Hannah and Kelly and Walter. And I am going to shut us off YouTube now that I got that. And then I will take us off Facebook. Well, I'll take us off Facebook first. Been a great night. And we'll go forward with that. So thanks everybody on Facebook for watching. See you probably next Monday would be my guest from J Mattingly. All right. And then know that Connor O'Driscoll will be Thursday, and Tuesday we should be doing Old Stubborn. So there's the schedule. Good night. Everybody on YouTube, thanks. Let's take it off. Yeah, misinformation. I read. Great. Let's go to